Nach, Nachma, MeUman. As we approach Lag BaOmer, it's coming very soon, I would like to discuss a little what was so special about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Here I'm sitting by the holy tomb of Rabbi Akiva. I'm a little far from the window. I don't know if it came out in the camera, but right here by the tomb of Rabbi Akiva, who was Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's Rabbi. And Rabbi Akiva studied by Rabbi Eliezer Gadol. Rabbi Eliezer Gadol says in Meseches Sanhedrin, page 68, that he only received from his rabbis like a dog that laps from the ocean, and from him, he said, his students only like a brush from a pail. So why is everything dependent on Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Holy Zohar and the holy teachings of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, when his Rebbe was Rabbi Akiva, who was combed with metal combs to death, and the Torah was Ru'uya, was worthy of given on his by his hand, and Moshe Rabbeinu said this in the Gemara Menachos. Well, why don't you give the? He said to Hashem Yisborach, why don't you give the Torah through Rabbi Akiva? And Rabbi Akiva only received like a brush that dips into a pail from his Rebbe, and so forth, like we just said. So what's going on? Why is everything? Why is our whole life, the whole world, it all stops? It's just Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Even though the Gemara does say that Rabbi Akiva tells Rabbi Shimon, it's enough that that you and I and God, I forgot the exact expression of the Gemara, it's enough that you and I, you and your Creator, I and your Creator, I forgot exactly, but it says there that it's enough that we know who you are. But what does that mean? Why is it all dependent on Rabbi Shimon? So you know who asked the question? The Ramchal asked this question in his holy book, Adir Bamarom. This book was written in the year Nach, Nachman, MeUman, and it's the Rashi Tevos, the acronym of this book, Adir Bamarom Hashem, is Yisrael Be'odeser. So this is a very powerful book, and he asked and discussed this question straight up. And this is what we say, we're going to read it inside. It's on page 12, right at the beginning of the book. He says, behold, the knowledge of the later ones, is not considered knowledge, since the matters were not in front of their eyes with clarity as with the first ones, the Rishonim, the earlier generations. Because Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Zecher Livracha L'chai Olam Haba, of blessed memory, the matters were always in front of his eyes with pristine clarity, as one who sees with his eyes something and it is captured in his heart, and there was not in his knowledge any mixing up, any ambiguity, any darkness. But before him, after the destruction of the temple, Rabbi Shimon was in the generation right after the temple. It says in Psalms, this verse was being discussed in general by the Ramchal on these pages. V'lo itanu yodeh adma. There is not with us someone that knows adma. Ma means what? Doesn't know. There's no one with us that knows what. What's going on? The adma, until what? Who kimo blima. It's as if saying, without anything. That's what David HaMelech said with divine prophecy, with divine inspiration in Psalms. So the Ramchal says the interpretation is there's not someone that knows the matter that will be. Meaning nothing. And the Ramchal points out, it doesn't say velo banu, there is not in us, in our midst, but it says velo itanu, there is not with us. Because in truth, in reality, even still, they were not completely deficient. They weren't missing certain very great sages in Israel. But the matter is, just like from Noach to Avram to Abraham, there were great tzaddikim, like Shem and Aver and their courts. As we know that the Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, our forefathers, went to study by Shem and Aver, so obviously they were very great. But they were not mingled, they were not intermingling with the rest of the generation. And their generation did not find with them a great toelis. Toelis is benefit. Because they were standing by themselves and they did not give of their goodness to the others. So the Ramchal is saying that just like that was the case in the generations between Noach and Abraham, also the same thing when prophecy was terminated, was put to cease in Israel, so nonetheless there remained a lot of sages. For behold, in the times of the Tanaim, the sages of the Mishnah, there was great wisdom in Israel. And in any event, at any rate, there were every sage knew the secrets. However, lo nisyashvu bli bosem advarim heitiv, the matters were not settled in their hearts well. Just everyone knew what they attained. There's their spiritual conception, but the matters were sealed like a sealed book. Because whoever did not stand on the tolchen hadaver be'emes, on the matter at hand, what it's really about in truth, so it was saying that they did not stand on the core of the matters in truth. Now, behold, the matters are very sealed, because their ways are hidden from the intellect of people. And behold, you see, after Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai went up to his resting place, so the sages that came after him stammered in their words, and they did not speak with full expression. Even still, they were great sages, distinguished sages, and they knew the Kabbalah on al-Matchunta, that means on its full system. I'm going to have to continue. Nach, Nachma, MeUman.